What's up, everybody? Let's get into it right now. I've been wanting to talk about Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese situation. It's getting crazier and crazier. Welcome to Truth Media Vlogs. It's early in the morning. I'm enjoying myself already. It looks like it's pretty nice outside, so I got to get out there. But let's get into this right now. I want to talk about this because it's getting crazier, like I said. Now, RG3 has interjected himself in this conversation, in this situation, where he doesn't belong. He should not. Now, I think he's an ESPN analyst, so he's got to give his opinion. I thought he had got fired from ESPN for some reason. I'm not sure. But he's been in the middle of laying down criticism towards her, saying things that I think he's gotten some backlash for. He said some things about her and as it relates to Clark, trying to interject this view that she has a hatred for Clark, all kind of weird stuff. This is a man who's married to a white woman, not married to a black woman. So Ryan Clark, who used to be in the NFL from the Pivot podcast, had called him out as it relates to the fact that, hey man, you're not even married to a black woman. Do you really know what a black woman is going through, what she's dealing with? So it was a lot of back and forth between those two. And then
when you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts. Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness, that's rivalry, that's not hate. And so now though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think
RG3, who we were told by Rob Parker, who got fired from ESPN many years ago, that RG3 was a cornball kind of guy. Didn't seem like he was really, connected to the black community. And he got fired for it, but it turns out that everything—
Question, which is just a straight, honest question. Is he a brother or is he a cornball brother? Question, which is just a straight, honest question. Is he a brother or is he a cornball brother?
Rob Parker said what's true about RG3 as RG3 continues to connect himself into this conversation. Now, recently, RG3, there's two things that happened recently. One, recently, RG3 made a claim that he got information from Angel Reese's inner circle, or those that are in the inner circle. And the mother was like, what are you talking about? This is bull jive, okay? Then there's a racist situation that's going on Twitter where someone put out a racist memes of Angel Reese on a fake 2K video game cover. One where they've got her on the cover, which was fake. Two, where they got her on the cover as a monkey, as a primate, as a monkey. And we know that image of portraying black people as monkeys is old as time immemorial, has been one of the main stereotypes that they've used when it comes to depicting black people as monkeys. I want to touch on that and where that comes from, but let me read to you exactly what Angel Reese's mother had to say right here. So let's get into it. So as I said, Angel Reese's mother, Miss Webb, she spoke out against RG3, who was making accusations that he had inside information, an inside source within her inner circle, who told him that Angel Reese has a hate for Clark, Kaiten Clark. The mother, Webb, said this is BS. He's full of BS because he's full of cap. Okay, RG3 is full of cap, y'all. And so she came out and said, hey, I'd like to know who that person was in the inner circle, because the inner circle is tight over here, who that person was, because I can tell you right now, according to the mother of Angel Reese, she's saying the inner circle is so tight, there's no way he could have gotten that kind of information, that he's just making up stuff, that he's lying. And Angel Reese doesn't have much love for him either because of the things that he has said about her as it relates to Clark, saying that she has some kind of internal hate for the young lady. This whole thing is bullshit. Just like what they did, as I spoke earlier, what they did on social media on X, putting out a memes of Angel Reese, making her look like a monkey on a fake fictitious cover for the video game 2K26. It was embarrassing. It was racial. It goes back to an old racial trope that they used to use when it came to black people in this country. So let's get into this further. Let's talk about where this is really coming from. Let's go all the way back to when Angel Reese originally had this rivalry. Well, it's a sports rivalry with Kaiten Clark, going all the way back to LSU when they beat Iowa, I believe either in the national championship or the semifinals to get to the championship. And it all started when Kaiten Clark started the trash talking with her hand gestures towards Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese repaid the favor by giving her a trash talk hand gesture as well. Now, where does this all stem from? This is nothing new. This goes all the way back. If you go back and you look at the NBA back in the 1980s when you had Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, the big rivalry, two guys who actually did vitalize the NBA to where it is today, along with Michael Jordan and many other players at that time. But there was this rivalry, and what happens is that black people have dominated sports, particularly basketball, in this situation, football as well, and white people have been looking for a great white hope for years. Magic was the man, because Magic, just like Angel Reese, he beat Larry Bird in college in the national championship, just like Angel Reese beat Clark. They wanted to make Larry Bird the next great white hope because, like I said before, black players dominate the sport. So here comes a white guy that can compete, and they loved it. They drummed him up, they hyped him up, and what have you. Now, Larry Bird, to his credit, could play some damn basketball. But Larry Bird was a trash talker. Larry Bird played a little dirty basketball game too as well. And whenever he would do dirty stuff to black players when he was playing, nobody in the media had anything to say about Larry Bird. But if the black players either roughed Larry Bird up, played tough defense against him, trash talked or what have you, Larry Bird could do no wrong. It was okay for Larry Bird to do that, but the black players took criticism. You know how I know this is true? All you gotta do is look at some clips of Dennis Rodman, okay, Isaiah Thomas, who played for the Detroit Pistons. They were the bad boys. And they were asked an honest question. They said, hey, what do you think about Larry Bird? And they said, well, to be honest about it, if Larry Bird was black, he would just be another good player in the NBA. But because he's white, then they amplify how great he is. They amplify his greatness and his legend. I tend to believe that, everybody. The same thing is happening in modern times today as it relates to Kaiten Clark. I think they want her to dominate. She's playing good basketball. We can't deny her basketball skills. Young lady can play. But the WNBA has been dominated by black women for so long that now you get this white woman who's playing good basketball, and they're doing everything they can to make sure that she is put on a pedestal, okay? So when they rough Caitlin Clark up, when she goes to the basket hole, as you see that basket right over there, when she goes inside the key, okay, and she gets fouled, then they're saying, oh, they're fouling her hard, they're playing her hard because they hate her because she's a white girl and she's better than them. When Angel Reese plays against her and plays tough defense against her, maybe elbows her, then they say, oh, she's doing it because she hates her. But if you ever really watch Caitlin Clark in basketball games, you will see her talk trash to people. You will see her throw elbows. You'll see her do some dirty play as well. When she does it, it's okay. For her to do it, nobody says anything. So this whole situation is racial on this level. People deep down in the core, some people don't like black people. And so a lot of the people who are saying negative things about Angel Reese is because the truth of the matter is they don't really like Angel Reese because she's black. And what I've noticed is that whenever a black person is confident, speaks their mind, they're confident, whether it be in sports, business, whatever it is. You see it with Deion Sanders and some of the hate that he gets as a coach in NCAA football. Whenever you have a black person that amplifies and exhibits these type of qualities, then you get people that hate on them and call them arrogant and what have you. I think this is what's happening with Clark, is that because there's so much on the line to protect Clark, and protect Clark at the expense of players like Reese by demonizing players like Reese, people are able to project their racism, their white supremacy, their hate because she is black, and they can embed it in their fandom as it relates to sports. And the mother, Angel Reese's mother, Miss Webb, said when she punched back at RG3, when she hit him back in her Twitter post, she said, this is all about fandom. This is about fake beef that ain't even real, because Angel ain't got no hate towards this girl. But I think the hate towards Angel Reese is racially fueled by the fact that people just don't like her because she's a black woman. Some people will call her cocky. She's boastful. She speaks her mind. And historically, when black people have been confident like this, people tend not to like us. The white girl Clark, she can be confident. She can be boastful. And if there's any pushback on her, they'll simply say it's because people don't like her because she's a white girl in a sport that's really dominated by black women. Look, this is another thing that I noticed. Sports has physicality in it. When you look at men's basketball, we are used to the physicality that you have in men's basketball, right? So nobody makes a big deal over the fact that Michael Jordan was getting smashed up when he went to the key, to the hole, like this key that you see right here on this basketball court right here. Nobody made a big deal about what was happening to Jordan against the Pistons because we just chopped it up as, hey, this is competitive sports. But what I noticed when it comes to women's basketball, when the women are very physical with each other, people tend to have a problem with that because it's women's sports. And I guess people just don't want to see women be physical with each other the way men are. So that's some of the cultural bias there that I see. But RG3, this is why I got to go back to this point right here. This is why Clark had to call RG3 out, because RG3 is married to a white woman. He's not married to a black woman. And I think that's what Clark was basically trying to say. And RG3 didn't like it. He tried to sit up there and say that Ryan Clark was attacking him and his family when he just said that, hey man, you're not married to a black woman, as it relates to his criticism of Angel Reese, okay? So he did a punk move by trying to get Ryan Clark fired by saying some disparaging things about Ryan Clark. And then he just can't keep Angel Reese out of his mouth. And her mother is saying, man, keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. Stop capping like you capping on social media. Now acting like he cares about what's happening to Angel Reese because you had these racist memes that came out on the X platform. And remember, Elon Musk has allowed a lot of these racists to come back on that platform. So now RG3 wants to project this concern for the racism towards her. But in some ways, he was projecting his own bias against Angel Reese. Now, RG3 was a great football player in college at Baylor. He won the Heisman Trophy. He came into the NFL for the Washington football team his first year as a rookie, and he set the lead on Storm. He was great. He got injured, and he became a one-hit wonder. Now, he's a commentator. He's got his own podcast. I thought that he got fired by ESPN. I guess he's still with ESPN. I'm not sure. Correct me in the comment section if you know that. But the whole thing is crazy. Angel Reese is confident in herself. She has an edge to her, and people don't like that because she's doing it as a black woman. People are favoring Clark because she's a white woman. This is just my opinion on this. Because see, in America, we are culturally conditioned. Let me tell you how we are culturally conditioned in America. We're culturally conditioned to see white as superior, black as inferior, and as a manifestation of that cultural conditioning, we will marginalize, underestimate, and undervalue black people while propping up white people or white society. And this is where this comes from. We're all culturally conditioned on one level or another. Let me know what you think about this situation with Angel Reese and Clark, and the whole situation with RG3 interjecting his 2 cents into the situation. Let me know in the comment section. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed to this vlog. And go ahead and hit the bell notification when you subscribe. And also, most importantly, watch another video. And also, most importantly, share this video and tell some people about the channel. Once again, y'all take care. This is Truth Media Vlogs.